Greetings, everyone. I hope everybody's doing great. Positive energy all the time. Welcome to another episode of Roaring Lions. So let me let everybody come on in. I hope you're all having a great evening. I hope you're all taking care of yourself. Health is wealth, so always take care of yourself, okay? Good to see you, Chris. Glad you're here. We'll let everybody come on in and get started. As usual, I want to tell you, make sure you eat right, take care of yourself. Health is wealth. Take care of yourself. Hit the link in the description, right? Grab the easiest way to become a vegan and eat better and take care of yourself. You got to be healthy if you want to survive out here, okay? All right.
Peace, health, and longevity. If you want to consume more plant-based foods, if you want to abstain from junk foods, if you want to consume fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, and herbs, and avoid dead flesh, artificial flavors and colorings, sweeteners, anything that is unreal basically, purchase this particular manual, The Easiest Way to Become a Vegan by Pharaoh Rameses El-Aton, who has been a vegan 40 plus years. He will take you step by step on how to abstain from the junk foods, how to abstain from the dead flesh, the chicken, the turkey, the pork, beef, and all sorts of animal products. Purchase this particular manual, The Easiest Way to Become a Vegan, to eat more natural. Remember that the herbs are for the healing of the nations. Let food be your medicine and let medicine be your food. Consume of every fruit-bearing and herb-bearing tree. Unto you it shall be for meat. Purchase this particular manual, The Easiest Way to Become a Vegan by Pharaoh Rameses El-Aton. Peace, health, and longevity.
Okay, everyone. Glad you're all here. Welcome to another episode of Roaring Lions. Tonight, I'm going to be interviewing Penn. So this should be very interesting. Good to see you, Lazarus. Good to see you, Boss Man. Will is here. Chris is here. And so without any further ado, let's kick it off. Roaring Lions. Okay, it's my pleasure to introduce you all to the brother Ross Penn. How you doing today, brother?
I'm doing very, very well, my brother.
That's
Give
good.
thanks to the Most High. We have health, so we give thanks. Yes, sir.
Yes, I, brethren. So I'm very happy for you to be here. Uh, very interested to learn a lot about you
Okay.
and to have this discussion. So, brother, what year were you born?
1950.
1950.
Yeah.
Okay, so you are what, 77?
Two.
72, 72?
Yeah.
Born 1950. Where were you born, brother?
Kingston, Jamaica.
Kingston, Jamaica. Nice. So,
Yeah.
where were you raised?
Well, the first 16 years of my life was spent in Jamaica. And then I
Oh,
immigrated to the United States. So I have been here since 1966.
So now being in Jamaica from 1950 to 1965, 66, were you exposed to the early days of reggae music?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. From it started with Skia. Yeah, I was there. Yeah.
So, what were some of the popular reggae artists and musicians in Jamaica at that time?
Well, we had the Scatterlights. You know about them?
Yeah, the Scatterlights, definitely.
So they were the band. We had other bands, but that was the band that we love. You know what I mean?
Right,
Well, like Carlos Malcolm had a band, and he had other bands. Like I don't really remember them now. But
right,
as a band, Scatterlights, and then
right,
now after Scatterlights, now you have Delroy Wilson,
right,
Penn, you know, those two were like two major stars. Yeah,
right,
yeah. And then now you had Bob Marley, and then now you had the Wailers, and then now you. So in the
right.
early days, those were the artists them that you really, Dennis Brown and so on and so forth. Yeah,
Hmm. So Dennis Brown was pretty big back then. He was young, huh?
yeah. He was like a kid prodigy, like Michael Jackson, similar to Michael Jackson.
Right. And the
Yeah,
Wailers was singing like soul
Im-
music or something like that. What were the Wailers singing at that time?
impressions.
The Impressions. Right.
Yeah.
Interesting. So now where do you live now?
Well, well, I'm living in Brooklyn. Yeah,
Okay.
Brooklyn, New York. That's been my home since 1966. No, no. 66, I went to the Bronx. And then I spent 1 year in the Bronx. And then I moved to Brooklyn in 67. And I've been here ever since.
Okay. So um when did you actually start growing your dreadlocks?
Uh, I think it was 1971 when I was
1971?
20, when I was 21 years old.
You was 21 years old?
Yeah. No, something is going on right here, right? You sent me the link on the phone, and I used the phone to come in. You sent me the link on the laptop. So I just saw it. So I clicked on it, and I'm coming in now on the laptop. So I'm gonna leave this meeting here, right? Well,
Okay.
let me see myself on the laptop. All right, I see myself now.
Okay, log out of the phone and come in on the laptop.
Yes.
So in the meantime, in between time, I need you all to check out This the News. We need more subscriptions over there. So make sure you go hit the link in the description and subscribe to This the News. We need 1,000 subscribers over there. Right? So make sure you check out This the News. So yes, we're waiting on the elder to come back in. When the brother come back in, we'll finish the interview. If you have questions, you can ask the questions after I finish the interview. I'm not going to want to interrupt the interview for questions. So after the interview, if you want to ask him some questions, we can ask him some questions. You all good? We are just waiting for him to come into the live. And we will be ready to go. Okay, my brother, I got you. Can you hear me?
All right.
Good to see you, Baba TV. So, brother, can you hear me? Do you
Yes,
have a
I
connect?
can.
You can hear me?
You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. It looks like you have a slow connection, though. Are you connected to the internet?
I don't know. It looked like a freeze.
Well, just go back on your phone and come on so we can just go on your phone and come back on your phone.
Yeah. You
Yeah, go
can
back to your phone.
hear me?
Yeah, go back on your phone. Come in on your phone. I'm going to close this out, okay?
I hear you, but I don't know if you hear me.
Yeah, I'm gonna close this out and put you on. Go back on your phone. Come back on your phone. This is not going to work.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, come back on your phone. Come on your phone.
Okay.
You hear me telling you to go on your phone? Log out and come on your phone. Come back on your phone. So let's give him some time to go on his phone. I appreciate him trying to learn how to deal with these all this electronics at 72 years old. Okay. All right, you ready to go?
Yes, yes.
All right, got you. You just need a little light so we can
Okay.
see you.
All right.
There we go.
Yes, I.
All right, got you, brethren. So
We were saying.
I was saying that you said when did you start growing your dreadlocks again?
21. When I was 21.
21.
Yeah.
And was that because that's when you realized you was a Rasta? How did you come into being a Rasta or find out you was a Rasta? What was that process like mentally?
Okay. When I left Jamaica, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was a Christian. Yeah. Proud to be a Christian when I left Jamaica. So when I came to New York, I love ganja in Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
I get introduced to ganja and I love it. So when I come to America now, I had to find the ganja.
Right.
So a friend of mine who attended school with me in Jamaica, who was here also, he knew where to find the herb. So he took me to this Rasta house to get the herb. All right. Now, when we were in there, he said to me, Pennycook, how do you check Selassie? Do you check that he's God? Now, that to me now was a totally unnecessary question because him know the answer. Him know my answer.
Mm-hmm.
It asked me that question in front of the Rastafari brethren them so that him want to see how I would answer it. But them time there, as I say, I don't know nothing about Rasta. So I just tell them how I feel. I said to them, say, I am a Christian. I don't know anything about Rasta. You can't ask me about Selassie. I don't know nothing about it. And then now one of the dread who was there, a young youth, said, mind how you come into a Rasta house and say him God is not God, You will get shot. Yeah. Yeah, so him said to me. But the elder who in the house, like we were in the kitchen, and the elder was in the living room, adjoining the kitchen. And the elder said, leave the youth alone. You don't see, it's an honest youth that. When that youth tell you Selassie is God, you don't have to doubt him. Right? That the elder say, So me the damn me I listen. And me is a Christian. Me don't know nothing about Rasta. So when he must say that now, it's like it caused me now when I leave there and go home to have this meditation in my head. It can't be you. Oh, it must be you. This little man here is the creator of everything. No, man. Can't be you. And while I'm saying can't be you in my meditation, I was cooking at the time, and Scotch bonnet pepper was part part of my seasoning.
Mm-hmm.
But I am meditating now all the time on what the elder had said to me and what was going on. And I'm saying, it can't be you. How it must be you. All right. So then now all right. I go to the bathroom to take a leak, but I never wash my hand. I go, and by meditating the way I meditate, I never remember to wash my hand. And when I do what I am doing, it's like my body catch a fire from head to toe. Yeah. The Scotch bonnet pepper was rising. Yeah, man. And when I catch a fire, it really the burning. And while I'm in the fire, His Majesty appeared to me. And him look in my eyes, I look in his eyes, and him said to me, will you doubt me anymore? And I said to him, no, Jah. And that's me. Him just leave me then, When I say no, Jah, him just leave. And then now I get cool, the cooling just come about. And then now that's the end of the experience. So that is when I was transformed from a Christian to a Rasta. But a Rasta is nothing more than an advanced Christian. A Rasta who know Christ with the new name is not a different God. It is the same God. Yeah.
Right.
But he told you he's gonna come in the future, and him gonna have children. It all tell you that in the Bible, So Christ will see his seed in his second advent. Yeah. I could tell you where, but you can just tell that to Google, and it might have just carry you go to the Bible where it said that. Right? I remember one time I had to show the prince, not Prince Hermias, but Prince David. Prince David, who died. He died tragically in a car accident in Switzerland. Yeah. He left out of my house and went and died. Oh man, that was so sad. So he was the one, yeah. And when I said that to him, he just he understood, and then now it didn't really require any more explanation, So yeah.
Interesting, Ross. Very interesting. And so now, once you start going these dreadlocks and now you're slowly identifying as Rasta, did you have a hard time finding a job in New York?
At that time?
Yes.
Yes, and then now that caused me now to become an entrepreneur. Yeah. I opened my own. At first, it was an import-export store where we imported the fresh food from Jamaica, fruits and things like that. And then now it transformed into a restaurant where we used to cook the food and then now sell it still to the people who wanted it. And then now have that fresh food as a unique difference to our restaurant. You know what I mean? Yeah, it was a successful restaurant too. Very.
That sounds a lot like my story. That's how I became an entrepreneur. So
yes, sir.
At that time, now I know it wasn't really bad because there's a lot of people, Caribbean people in New York. So you were kind of able to adapt a little bit, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. You know, when I came here first, I didn't really meet much Jamaicans in 1966. So
Mhm.
right away, I became American.
Mhm.
Yeah. I used to talk like American. I used to dress like American. I used to do everything just like American because American is the best. Yeah.
Now, did you? What was the experience like as you started adapting more to your African born in Jamaica culture? What was the experience like dealing with African Americans? You know, what was that like back? What's this, the 70s?
Yeah. Yeah. No, my experience is that I have never really had any problems with my brothers and sisters, you know. And it's a funny thing, you know, anywhere I go, I have that experience. Yeah. Because when I go somewhere, I want to get to know the people. I want to get to know their habits, if they are, you know what I mean, uh, similar to my habits and so on and so forth. So when I came to New York, because I didn't really have any Jamaican friends in 1966, we were one and yeah. So Americans, yeah, they were my everything. You know, I learned a lot from them, and yeah, yeah.
Now I'm glad you're here. There's a question I got to ask you that I've been trying to remember. There was a radio show in New York, and I
Hmm.
think the DJ name was Rankin Joe. What was the name of that radio show that played all the best music?
Well, I don't know Rankin Joe. I don't know him, but the radio show that used to it was WWRL. I think it was WWRL,
And
which was the
what was the name of that program? Because Brethren used to come down here and bring tapes that they would record off of that program that would be on at night. Uh, and I can't never remember the name of that.
let's see now.
And I thought the host was Rankin Joe, but maybe I'm wrong.
Well, I don't know if he was, but I don't know him as such as a DJ,
Okay.
Ranking Joe. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm thinking of Gil Bailey. Gil Bailey was the one who was the pioneer for all of that. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Gil
o-
and Pat Bailey.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Mhm.
So, this is a great interview because basically you were at the forefront of the reggae explosion in America because
Yeah, yeah,
everything took off around the same time you start growing your dreadlocks. That's when everything took off in America. Am I correct?
yeah, yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, because reggae just got bigger and bigger and bigger, didn't it?
Exactly. You know, it started off as just a little music that was really novel. You know what I mean? But then now, as it went on, and then now you hear the different music them that they released, it became very popular. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
between 1979 and 89, it really boomed, didn't it?
yes, yes, that was the height of it. You know, it busts out now. You know, it's like you can't hold it back anymore. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's busts out.
yeah. Okay. So you would have been one of the older brethren I would have been walking around with when I was trying to figure out what was going on.
Well, I've been there. I've been there. I've been there
Yeah,
a long
because
time now.
you're right the age of my elders when I came in. Okay, so you're the type of brethren, you're the brethren I was walking around with, uh calling me my son and trying to get me straight. you know?
Well, it's a shared experience. 'Cause my experience in America is that, you know, if if the person is respectful and treat the people the way how they want to be treated, man, I'm telling you, the love I get from Black Americans, yeah, it's a cherished love, yeah, because I see where they care for each other, yeah. If you're in the projects and you're out of something, you can go next door and knock and get it. That is something that it's the same way in Jamaica. Yeah.
Right.
So I related to that. Hmm.
Interesting. So, are you involved with any type of organizations or anything?
Yes. No, it's almost like say, God have a hand in this. Because listen to what happened to me now. I come to New York and I find out about the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. So I want to become a member. So I joined the church and I baptized and I get my name. Gabriel Mariam is my name. Servant of the Virgin Mary. That's my name. So after I joined the church now, I'm very happy going to church, seeing the Ethiopian priests up there and, having my mind all over the place thinking, yeah, I was happy. So then I heard about the Ethiopian World Federation. It's in the church. So I joined the Ethiopian World Federation. But the men who were running it, I don't know what you could call them, but they used to wear a lot of paraphernalia and come to church. So when they come to church now, they just wear the paraphernalia, and all of them have on some kind of a paraphernalia, right? I think you could call them lodgemen. And so when I joined the federation in the church, they did not know about it. And then when they found out that I am a member, they moved it out of the church into a private house and proceeded to keep meetings there, but instructing the members not to tell me. All right. So I lost track of the federation from in the 70s, and I never heard anything about it again until in the 90s, 1992. That is the year His Majesty is 100 years old, so that Rastafarians all around the world are celebrating that great occasion. And then now there was a trip from the West to Ethiopia to celebrate it. And so, yeah. So one of the celebrations was students at Brooklyn College got in touch with a member of the Federation living in Addis Ababa and invited him to come to Brooklyn to give a presentation at the college on the current state of the Ethiopian World Federation. Now, them times I don't know anything about the Ethiopian World Federation. I am a member. I joined it in 1973, and then I didn't hear anything about it again, and I forget about it. And then in 92, when it came back, I now have some kind of idea what they're talking about. So I'm paying attention. Now, when that brother came to Brooklyn College and made his presentation, he gave us, the audience, the opportunity to own a constitution. You can see it?
Yes. Yes, I
All
see
right.
it.
Yeah, it's a little book. Yeah, for all of us. So the constitution, yeah, you know, And yes, what is it I'm saying again? You remember what I
You were
was saying?
talking about the Ethiopian. You were explaining about the Ethiopian World Federation, how you got in it, and what's it about. What's it all
Ex-
about? What,
Exactly. Now, when I asked that brother for a copy of the Constitution, he said to give him $1, and I paid $1, and we got each in the audience got a Constitution. So that's the first time I am seeing the Constitution. Then I heard him say that now there is a land grant attached to it, and that now he's here to really um, encourage us in New York to revitalize the headquarters because the headquarters is dormant and we need the headquarters to be active so that we can go to the Ethiopian government and talk to them about Sheshimani. If we cannot get the headquarters to revitalize and be certified and legal again, then now we can deal with the land grant. So we had to come to New York, and so that's why that brother came to New York. He came here with a specific reason of motivating us, the audience, to do something about it. Because we're seeing it for the first time, we're hearing about it for the first time. So that's what happened. And then now we started, we went through the whole process. And then now we had to learn because that's number one thing. There was no elder there to teach us what to do. So we had to learn it all. Yeah. And then now it's not so difficult to learn, but I must say a lot of us who were in the class needs more work. Yeah. So that's what it is, the Ethiopian World Federation, right? Now, when I find out now where that come from, I am finding out now that it comes from Black Americans. Yeah, Black Americans are the ones who are responsible for the Ethiopian World Federation simply by going to visit the Ethiopian government in.
okay, we're going to take a break, and we'll come back and finish this story with the brethren. Okay, I hope you're all enjoying this. And so we'll be right forward. Give us a few minutes and you'll get some more information from Ross Penn. Okay, we are forward with Brother Ross Penn, and
Yes, sir.
he was talking about the Ethiopian World Federation and telling you how it had the Black Americans had some input. I'll say, so continue, Elder, continue.
Not some input, all the input. It was a Black American thing. And then now they went to England, visited with His Majesty, spoke with him, and then they got the Constitution, organizing the Black people around the world. Our first president, his name is Dr. Lorenzo King, that I'm wondering if he's any relation to Martin, Martin Luther, because it was during that time when A. Philip Randolph was an advisor to the Federation. So that means that Martin might have heard about the Federation through A. Philip Randall, but I don't know, right?
Mm,
So
mm,
yeah, it's listen, man. This organization, you see, it is starting again from scratch, 'cause we had to take it out of dormancy. So when you take it out of dormancy, that means it's starting from scratch. Yeah. Now, how it got to be um, in that condition is still a mystery, you know, because that means that the people who had it, they ran it, and then now I don't know. It became dormant. That means maybe they died, 'cause they were old when I saw them in 70s. So they died, and then now the organization just fell off the books. No one was there to carry it on because
mhm.
they run it as a secret society. Yeah, but that was a part of somebody else's plan for us. Somebody else sending the secret society to run this organization so that the people will not know anything about it after 1 or 2 generations. And that's
Mm,
exactly what happened.
mm.
Our people were very educated about Ethiopia and Ethiopian affairs, Tuskegee University had made an agreement with the Ethiopian government to go and help with the farming. Yeah, but Mussolini now come and invade and then now cause a war and then mash up that plan with Tuskegee, so it never went through. And then now after the war, it's like the priorities them change. But what it
Right.
is, yes, yes, Black Americans, man. You see, Booker T. Washington, that brother should be celebrated. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So
Interesting.
because I think that's why Marcus Garvey they come to America, to meet him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Book, yeah, Booker T. When Marcus here say Booker T, I build school and I educate the people and rah, rah. Is that him get moved by, and 'cause him come from Jamaica, him no Jamaican and do that. So when him come America, him here say Booker T had died. So him never get to meet him. But Booker T is a big man, that man. Because what he did, reach to Ethiopia, him did have plans in Africa, Booker T,
Mm.
man, I don't know if we know what Booker T did do. Yeah. But him was doing some great works in Africa. Yeah. So all them time His Majesty and Booker T have the arrangement for help with the farming and things like that and so on. And all right. So all of them thing there. So you see, His Majesty made a speech in Chicago. In
Mm.
Chicago, yes, he
Mhm.
made this speech in Chicago. Says the what's the black newspaper in Chicago name again?
The
Is it the
Defender.
The Defender? Yes, yes, yes. So the Defender had it, and it says, "I am not only the emperor of Africa." Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Are you the emperor of Africa? That's what he said.
Right.
So he knows why he said that. He didn't say Ethiopia. He
Right.
said Africa,
Yeah.
Africa. And then he went on to say, "And I am also the king of all Negroes, including those in the United States of America."
Yeah. He
Ye-
said, I'm not only the king of Africa, I'm the king of black people all over the world.
Yes. And
Mhm.
he mentioned Black Americans as the only one that him single out. Yes, he didn't mention you. And trust me, it's because of Booker T. Because I say Black American been exposed to higher learning for a more prolonged time than any other black people on this planet. Yeah. So that the resources that are available in Black America, man, it is totally what is required in Africa. we don't have to leave and go to Africa, no, but we can take an interest in what is happening over there. And then before you know it, we can get involved and then now reap the benefits. Yeah. So, yeah.
Now, Adam Clayton Powell Sr. and Jr. got a lot to do with that too, because they was up in New York with the Abyssinian church, and they were sending troops to the war. So,
yes,
yeah.
And Adam Clayton Powell Jr. said something about the preacher that went to England and came back with the Constitution. Now, we black people, we are a peculiar people, because it's a war going on in Ethiopia. We're going to send a delegation to meet with the Ethiopian government. And who is on the delegation? A priest, a newspaper publisher, and a secretary. That's the three people who go. So the priest, him name Pastor Imes from the St. James Presbyterian Church in Harlem. It still exists today. It's a glorious church, big church, beautiful church. Yeah. And when I went there and told one of the deacons that this church is responsible for getting us this constitution, he didn't know anything about it. Yeah. So that is to show you, how much work was done to hide the Constitution from us. Yeah. That even the preacher for the church that went for it, the congregation today don't know nothing about it. Yeah. So I had that pleasure of telling him, yes, your church is responsible for it, and it should be honored for doing that. And more will be heard about it in the future. So that's what I said to him. Yeah.
Interesting. So,
yeah, man.
What do you think the process would be to connect the dots to get young Black Americans to be interested in Africa and Ethiopia, because there's been such a long period of time of separation with that. They don't teach it in the schools. It's not on the radio, and they're not too much connected. What would be the process to make that connection?
Okay, I sent you a document named Sheshimani. You got it? You got a chance to even peruse it?
Yeah, I seen it.
All right. Now, what we have to do is very scientific. Yes, everything is scientific, based upon numbers, based upon mathematics, based upon all of the sciences, because we are now Ethiopians, and we are being reminded what it is to be an Ethiopian. And what it is to be an Ethiopian is that you must love all Black people, you must defend all Black people, and you must work for all Black people. Now, we know that Black people is in a special condition today where that's not even possible, because you have languages and all kind of different things that is going to make it more challenging. Yeah, so it's not going to be easy, but it can be done, right? Now, what we are doing is giving, I don't know how to say it, but is really offering an economic benefit as the benefit for Black people to pay attention to what we are saying. Yeah, we have to give each Black person an economic benefit. And when that benefit becomes quite apparent and quite visible, then they will know what it is you have been telling them, and then they will, at that time, show a different kind of interest, So what we do now is to, let us say, um, it sounds away. It sounds away because you see, we are the ones who are telling you about it. So that's why it's going to sound away. I know that. I have an accent. I know that. I shouldn't have an accent and telling you about this great organization. It should be the other way around. All right. Now, we have a Rastaman in Jamaica named Solomon Wolf, who was baptized in the Ethiopian church and given the name Marcus Selassie, who went to Ethiopia and got land settled in his name. And then now he was the one who came to New York and inspired us to revitalize the headquarters and have it certified at the highest levels of government. And then now he was able to take that result to the Ethiopian government in Sheshimane and started to re-engage with them about the land. And upon the re-engagement, he presented a plan to them for the development of the whole territory, yeah, including the land grant. So the government, after reviewing the plan, accepted it and said, yes, hurry up and come back because this plan is needed in Ethiopia. All you need to do now is go get the budget and come back to us, and we will take care of everything. This is what the government said to us. So I must say, from that time until this time, I'm a bit disappointed that we have not moved it any further than there. Yeah. And it is simply because we were not able to really raise a budget of $2 million, which we are poor people. We do not have access to the funding agencies that are available. You know, the professionals would have to come and give us a hand, and then now we would become eligible because the organization is quite pristine. It's a glorious organization. So we would need the professionals to come for us to do that. But I'm saying now we represent, let us say, the man in the street, yeah. Poor people. All right. So we are saying poor people have developed an art form in music today called hip hop, and an art form in music today called reggae. Now, those two art forms, the world is quite aware of them. All right. His Majesty gave the Constitution to hip hop, to Black America, and says to Black America, you have been selected as the leader. Now you have to be elected. So go and do your thing. Now, if he select you as the leader for the race, he knows that you have the ability. You have everything that it takes to do that. Yeah. So that is what this is all about. To tell our Black American brothers and sisters that their expertise is needed. Yeah. I don't really want to say too much really right now. You know, I kind of get in emotion.
Okay. Now this is the thing I want to ask you. Do you think that African countries have put enough concern and interest into Black Americans to make Black Americans want to move there? Because from my point of view, I'm talking to a young generation and they have no relationship with the Africans that actually live here. So it's a really hard sell for me to make them think they can go to Africa and get along when they're not really. There's no type of social atmosphere for the Africans that's already here. What do you think we have to do about that problem right there? Because There's 122 million Ethiopians, 122 million, and there's only 42 Black Americans. How could the 42 persuade the 122 million? Shouldn't it be the other way around? Shouldn't the 122 million be trying to pull in the 42 million?
Okay. Now, let us say you're correct and saying 42 million Black Americans are in America. It is that fact alone that caused them to be at the front of what we do. Because America is the #1 country in the world. I don't care what anyone says. God bless America. Trust me. Yes. And it's Black Americans. Why? I don't want to say that to make my white friend them feel away, but it's Black Americans. Why? God bless America. Yeah. And you can see the story in the Bible of what happened in the Bible. And it is like the same thing happen again, Yeah. So it's so it goes. Because I think Abraham Lincoln did recognize that and say, let go the people, let go the slaves, or an angel of death is gonna come while we sleep and strike down the firstborn in every house. And that him did say, after him said to the people, say, him I go free them, free the slaves. Right. So it's a lot of things really in America. Yeah. But we would have to find another time where we can go into them things in more depth so we can understand why it is Black people in America have been selected by the king of the race, to lead us. And when him said to lead us, him said to lead the race.
Mm-hmm.
So that means those Black people in Africa is part of the race.
Right.
So yeah, you're big. Yeah. Now we're gonna have to find time where we can sit and have good reasoning as to how to accomplish these things. It have to be done scientifically.
Okay, we
And
can just do a show. We'll do a show on that because everybody needs to see us talk about it. So we will I'll bring you back and we'll just deal with that for the entire time because that definitely has to be discussed because you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. And we can't make the Africans do anything because there's 122 Blacks in Ethiopia. There's 2 million Blacks in Nigeria. And there's billions of them, and there's only 40 million of us. So it will take some participation on their behalf.
well, listen, the king gave the power to we, the Black people of the world. And our international president is the one who speaks and signs for us. Now, remember this, Ethiopia is the only country in Africa that maintains its sovereignty, that has never been conquered,
Right.
So you see, yeah, it is Ethiopia that is going to show us how Black people truly behave when they are not disturbed. Every other Black people have been disturbed. Ethiopians are the only ones who have not been disturbed. So when you look at an Ethiopian, you are seeing how Black people behave. You hear me? Yeah. They are beautiful people, but they are fierce warriors. They are fierce warriors, but they are beautiful, gentle people. Yeah. So if you can have that combination, you will understand. Gentle, yet fierce. You understand?
Okay. Now, what advice do you have for, well, listen, do you feel that the influence of Rasta has increased or decreased within the last 30 years?
definitely increase, definitely increase. And it is increasing every day. And what it is that there are not sufficient teachers who can teach the culture, teach what it is that the Rastas have been, are, and will be. There is not enough of those kind of institutions in our community to make a difference. So what is going on really right now is a very democratic process where everyone is free to do what they want to do. They can say what they want to say, and no one can tell them that they are wrong. And that is the way it should be. Yeah, everyone should be free to say what they want to say. And then now, you just listen. And if you don't agree, you just don't agree. And you continue to listen. Right. So that's basically how I see Rasta today. Rasta today is more like a democratic thing where everyone is welcome and everyone is really welcome to improve themselves. Yeah, because that's what it is about, improving yourself, right? So that is one aspect of the Rasta movement, because it is many aspects of it, from divine come all the way over to the other side, but, all Rasta, everyone Rasta. Yeah, those who know, yes. Those who don't know, yes, because they follow his teachings, right? So you see, Rasta is all over the world.
Yeah,
I've
that's
seen,
true. There's how many in South Africa? There's 3 million.
oh, and I think I heard four. Yeah,
Oh, four now. Okay.
yeah. Right? But what I'm saying then now, I've seen villages in China and it's nothing but Rasta in the Chinese village. Chinese, but
Mm,
they are Rasta. Yeah, in China, in Japan,
hmm
Australia. I mean, it's a significant population. So if we was to say, take a census and say worldwide, how many Rastas are in the world? Trust me, man. Trust me. It's gonna be in the hundreds of millions.
Right.
Yeah. And it is going up because you see, the goal, I'm gonna let out a secret.
hmm
Everyone is Rasta. It's just that them don't know it. Because hear what is Rasta now. Rasta is the new name for Christ.
Right.
So, yeah, if Christ is who we say he is, the whole world is Rasta. Yeah. And what Rasta is saying to the whole world, listen to us. Because, you might follow the propaganda and get misled when our motto, if you could call it a motto, is peace and love. Yeah. That's what the Rastas are about. Peace and love. But don't get that mixed up. Don't think that that means that there are some pushovers. No, nothing like that. No, but it's peace and love we desire. And then now we have this program now to eliminate poverty in Africa. Sure thing, can't fail. And then now we just got to get busy, right? But what it is, it is said in the document named Sheshimani. So I'm gonna need you to really read that document, and then now for the future we will get a chance to look at it and see what it is saying to us, because it is giving us the blueprint for what we need to do. All right, we need to organize the black race. All right, in order to organize the black race, we have to give black people an economic incentive to organize, right? So then now we get the land, and then now we use that now as the economic incentive. So we will develop a model city based on what His Majesty said to us: 10 hectares, 1 hectare for your house and garden. So that's what we're focusing on, house and garden. We're not focusing on the other 9 hectares. We're going to come back to it another time. But we're focusing on the 1 hectare for every family and then now the garden, right? So that is the economic incentive that Black people will have. And when they see the house and the garden and the place beautiful, you know, man, beautiful, I'm telling you, you know, when you see that in a picture and someone say to you, that is yours, all it costs you is 10 cents per week. You go say, 10 cents per week for that? You got to be joking, all right? But that's the formula that we have. Yeah, 10 cents per week can get it done. All right, we will have to go into that another time, right? Mathematics again. So, yeah, man, we have a lot to really look forward to because this thing is big for all Black people, led by Black Americans, ADOS, FBA. Yes, you're up front. Yes. And man, it's you can imagine now you running the world government. It's a government, you know. Hey, listen, you see, when we got the opportunity to revitalize it, we got a chance to go into the office and see what it is and so on and so forth. And I'm telling you, we were treated royally at the United Nations by the Ethiopian government, by the American Secretary of State, Madeleine Albright, and then later on, I think Colin Powell maybe did something for us also. So it is the office. We have to create that office. You see, it's almost like say, those who take it up is a mom and pop operation. Nothing to be ashamed of. Mom and pop is good. Yeah. But it is not what is needed for the race. For the race, this has to be done on the corporate standard, a corporate standard. It has to be a corporate entity and run like that. So that now we would have to really take a look at the different departments in the Constitution and see who run those departments. And the Constitution is telling you about doctors, dentists, nurses, pharmacologists, and professional musicians, and all kinds. No, that's what the Constitution is telling us. But we can use our imagination and say, okay, so that means now for the publicity department, we would need someone like a newspaper editor, someone, you know, and then now we would know how to set out these departments mentioned in our Constitution, and then now have these advisors come to the table with us and advise us on how these things go, because the advisors are experts in their field, and their field is what the Constitution is telling us about. So we have an interest in them, and then now they can really express themselves freely. Yeah. So it's a scientific thing, and we can solve our problem quite easily. Yeah, we have everything. The only thing we need now is a conversation. Yeah, a conversation, and it will lead to everything else. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Interesting. So, brother, I'm going to ask you 3 questions. Now, if you had every Jamaican in the world listening to you right now, what advice would you give to all the Africans born in Jamaica, Jamaican descended Africans that come out of Jamaica? What advice would you give them?
Okay, they are saying, meaning the people in Jamaica are saying that Black people should unite, right? That's what they say, right? People should unite. Well, I will tell them that I know a lot of them don't really know about Haile Selassie, and when they hear about him, they get frustrated and so on and so forth. But put that aside and look at him as the King of Kings, meaning he is the king for all kings. So he must know something to be able to do that. All right. He has given the race a constitution. So why aren't every Jamaican black person using that constitution? And that constitution have land attached to it. You have 25 acres per family attached to it. So by embracing that constitution, studying that constitution, becoming proficient at that constitution and Robert's Rules of Order, I might just say, yeah, those two books, becoming proficient at it, playing the game above the rim at it, then now our problems will be solved. Yeah, it will not be solved any other way, because that is the way our unity works, especially for government. So that we will have to be a government of the people, for the people, by the people. It's words that anyone can say, but it's gonna take work to make it happen. Yeah. So we have work to do, but we know what it is we have to do. So it's a pleasure. Yeah, because we have everything we need. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
We've not the professionals trained are ready. They just need to really hear about it, and then now they can make a decision as to when they will tune in, because it is for all of us. Every black person it is for. So it is working on our behalf. So no matter what, it is still yours. And then now, yeah, your share will be there. If you don't come for it, it's not going anywhere. It will be just sitting there waiting for you who don't come for it. So if you don't come for it, you don't need it. Well, you know what I mean? You must know what you're doing. But if it is offered to you and you can get it without giving up what you own anywhere in the world, you own things there, and yet you're gonna get this gift in Africa, and you say no, well, that's your choice. But that don't sound like a very sensible thing to do. It's money, and you're saying no to it. So that's what it is. The Ethiopian World Federation Constitution is for all black people. And we must get that message out to the Jamaicans so that they will know. And then now those of us now who know the benefit will take the initiative to get it started, and then its success will attract the rest of them. Yeah.
Interesting. Now,
yeah.
Same way, if you had every black American, every African born in America that consider themselves a foundational black American or American descendants of slavery, if you had every one of them listening to you, every one of us, what advice would you give to black Americans?
Okay. You did it. You published the Constitution. So it comes from your loins. Yes. What you need to do now, black people in America, is to refamiliarize yourself with that document. You are to get a copy of it, go online, see if you can find it online. Ethiopian World Federation, Constitution and Bylaws, it might be online. And then now you can have it to know it belongs to you, because it says we the black people of the world. That includes you. So once you understand that if black people in America was using that constitution, I don't think FBA and ADOS would have any kind of disagreement. No, because what would have happened is that the constitution used to organize black people throughout America. But once they are organized, they can have discussions anywhere. And one of the discussions they can be having is reparations. Yeah. So you need to get them organized first. Right. So the only way to get them organized is through a constitution. I mean, you come from the country that set the example. Yeah. It might not have been the first country with a constitution, but it's the first country for the people. Yeah. That's America, Before that, it was kings and all kind of things. America is the bad my country. We come and say, move with that. Yeah, we want to deal with this ourselves. Is America that? No. Yeah, man.
Now, The same way I asked you those two, if you had every black African from the continent and in Africa, the whole of Africa listening to you right now, what advice would you give to all the black Africans born in Africa or Africans, that parents are born in Africa? What advice would you give them?
Okay. The same thing I said in Jamaica, the same thing I said in America is the same thing I'm saying in Africa. But in Africa, it's a little different. Now, what is going on in Africa right now, it bodes well for the future, right? Rastafarians are taking root in Africa and are spreading out in Africa like wildfire, right? Now, this is going to sound strange, but Ethiopia is colonizing all black people so that they can bring them back to their self. That is what is going on, but so much other things going on in the meantime. We're not paying no attention to that, right? So what we are doing is to colonize every African and then show them that they are Ethiopian. And then now all of us around the world will be moving as one. And if we set the mechanism in place to achieve that, our president will be the most powerful person in the world. Yes, our president, and it could be male or female. Yes, our constitution protects the right of the female to express herself brilliantly. Yes. So this book, it is needed in every country where black people should organize ourselves by the book. So every black person needs the book. It needs to be translated into every language that black people speaks, especially in Africa and everywhere else, because we don't all speak the same language. So we all have to speak the same language in the Constitution. So that has to be translated into every language. And that's a massive task. So you see, there are things that we know how to do it, know what to do, and everything. But we need the crew, we need the staff, we need the people. So we're starting from scratch. So we're looking at what it is we have. So once we lay out the thing, we just get it done one time without any mistake, so that at the end of 10 years, Africa is transformed into a first world country, because we will be focusing on the infrastructure of Africa. And if we, the diaspora, unite and focus our attention on the infrastructure of Africa, we will be celebrated. Yeah. We would get everything we need in Africa. Yeah. Because the people would really show us love and appreciation. Yeah. Because we have been showing them love, and the infrastructure is an expression of love, so that they will reciprocate. Yes, they will. Black people, in America, they reciprocated. Yeah. So we don't see no difference in Africa. Yeah, man. It's a beautiful
That's
thing.
very powerful. That is very powerful, Ross Penn. You're very passionate. I can feel your passion. It's very inspirational to hear what you're saying. You're surely a treasure. I'm gonna have to get you over here 2 or 3 times so you could beat it in our head, okay? And it's really been a pleasure, brother. And I'm gonna tell you, we really appreciate you talking to us and giving us this information. I'm gonna be honest with you. It was really great. I've
The
talked to you a
pleasure.
few times on the phone, and you always convert me on the phone. I'm always charged up once I get off the phone with you. So, I got to get you over here more so you could, inspire more people, because your passion, you can just feel it coming out of you.
The pleasure is all mine. Trust me. Yeah, man.
Yes,
It's a
sir.
pleasure.
Yes, brethren. So we glad you're here. You have a good night, and we appreciate your service to the race.
And I love everyone. I love everyone. Yes, I.
All right, brethren, salute.
One love.
So that was Ross Penn, 72 years old, trying to inspire Black people. And I think that was really powerful. So let's take a break and then I'll say some final words, okay? Salute to Ross Penn. So yeah, that was really motivating. I enjoyed Ross Penn. We need somebody to constantly inspire us. Sometimes we give up. So it's good to have somebody that's constantly pushing the envelope. And I found that to be very, very inspirational. I'm going to tell you the truth. And, it's something to think about. We do have to do something. We're going to have to do something. And we're going to have to do it internationally. There's no doubt about that. So we're surely going to have to get ourselves together in all these various locations around the world and make ourselves comfortable where we're at and then work internationally. So, yeah, we're going to have to build locally and build internationally. So that was powerful. I hope you all enjoyed it. I think it was great. And it really, 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 it gives you a lot to think about. You know what I'm saying? A lot to think about when you listen to that information. So it's got to be some type of unity going on. We got to try to build some type of way. And I'm going to be having more of these great interviews over here, trying to push the envelope to see what everybody else has to say. Make sure whatever you do, you eat better, right? Because health is wealth. So make sure you eat, make sure you get some good food in you. We can't do anything if you get sick. And much respect to everybody that's been over here watching this, Quaylen and Latanya and Vegan Coffee Soul Ra, Adam, Alexis, Ra, Derek, Rudy, Fight Babylon, Will, Derek, Zab. Much respect to Derek for the support. Seven C's, Michael Lee, Danny, right? Danny, Latanya, Julius is here. Teresa's here. Calvin is here. And I appreciate you all being here. for this enlightening conversation. Pharrell is here. Yeah, Pharrell was very, very inspirational. We really want to see our people do good. And I always enjoy talking to people older than myself, getting some history from them. This brother, Ross Penn, has been doing it a long time. Good to see you, Mississippi BTV. And we're going to have a little message before we call it a night. So whatever you do, hit the links in the description. Make sure you eat right. Health is wealth. So take care of yourself.
Peace, health, and longevity. If you want to consume more plant-based foods, if you want to abstain from junk foods, if you want to consume fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, and herbs, and avoid dead flesh, artificial flavors and colorings, sweeteners, anything that is unreal basically, purchase this particular manual, The Easiest Way to Become a Vegan by Pharaoh Rameses El-Aton, who has been a vegan 40 plus years. He will take you step by step on how to abstain from the junk foods, how to abstain from the dead flesh, the chicken, the turkey, the pork, beef, and all sorts of animal products. Purchase this particular manual, The Easiest Way to Become a Vegan, to eat more natural. Remember that the herbs are for the healing of the nations. Let food be your medicine and let medicine be your food. Consume of every fruit-bearing and herb-bearing tree. Unto you it shall be for meat. Purchase this particular manual, The Easiest Way to Become a Vegan by Pharaoh Rameses El-Aton. Peace, health, and longevity.
Okay, everyone, thanks for watching. And be on the lookout for more great interviews. It's all about roaring lions. So we're letting the lions roar.
Have you ever considered becoming a vegan but didn't know what steps to take? Or started the transition but wasn't able to finish the process? Well, you're in luck, because now you have the easiest way to become a vegan. A simple and clear guide to embracing a vegan lifestyle. For more information, please visit www.veganintel.com and get your guide today.